Let's start with a question that should make every electrician uncomfortable. When was the last time you really inspected your insulated screwdrivers? Not just a quick glance, but actually looked at them under good light, bent them, checked every inch of that rubber coating? That Klein screwdriver with the orange handle has been in the pouch for 3 years. It's worked on 1,000 circuits, never caused a problem. So it must be fine, right? Wrong. That assumption has put more electricians in the hospital than most people realize. Here's what nobody talks about enough. Insulated tools don't fail dramatically. They don't suddenly crack in half or start smoking. They fail silently, gradually, invisibly. That rubber coating that's supposed to protect you from 1,000 volts is degrading every single day you use it. And the scary part? You can't always see it happening. Think about what your tools go through. They get dropped on concrete. They slide around in toolboxes with sharp metal edges scraping against them. They get exposed to chemicals, oils, and solvents on job sites. They sit in hot trucks during summer and freezing vans during winter. Every single one of these things breaks down the insulation, even if the tool still looks perfectly fine on the outside. The voltage rating stamped on that tool isn't permanent. It's only valid if the insulation is intact. A screwdriver rated for 1,000 volts can become a conductor if there's even a tiny crack in the coating that you can't see. And when you're working on an energized panel, that invisible failure can send current right through the tool, through your hand, and through your body. UV exposure from sunlight breaks down rubber compounds. That's why tools left in truck beds or on outdoor job sites age faster. Chemical exposure is another silent killer. Every time you wipe a tool with a rag that has solvent on it, or work around degreasers and cleaning agents, you're potentially compromising the insulation. These chemicals can make rubber brittle or cause it to swell and crack. Temperature extremes matter too. Leaving insulated tools in a vehicle where temperatures swing from below freezing to over 120 degrees causes the material to expand and contract repeatedly. This creates microscopic cracks that grow over time. The tool looks fine, but the insulation integrity is gone. Physical damage is the most obvious issue, but it's also the one electricians tend to ignore. Here's the critical point. Insulated tool manufacturers actually specify inspection requirements and replacement schedules in their documentation. Most electricians never read them. The tools are supposed to be inspected before every use, not once a month or when they look obviously damaged. Before every use means every single time you reach for that tool. What should you be looking for? Any discoloration of the insulation can indicate chemical damage or heat exposure. Any cracks, even hairline ones, mean the tool needs to be replaced immediately. Any soft spots or areas where the insulation feels different could mean it's deteriorating from the inside. If the insulation is pulling away from the metal shaft, that tool is done. And if you can see any metal showing through anywhere on the handle, that tool should have been thrown out yesterday. Here's a test that takes 5 seconds and could save your life. Bend the handle of your insulated screwdriver gently. If you see any white stress marks or tiny cracks appear in the coating, the insulation is compromised. That tool is no longer protecting you. If you're buying the cheapest insulated screwdrivers you can find at a big box store, you might not be getting the protection you're paying for. Quality insulated tools from reputable manufacturers are tested and certified. They'll have markings that show they meet standards. The cheap knockoffs might have a voltage rating printed on them, but they were never actually tested to that standard. So what's the bottom line here? Your insulated tools have a lifespan, just like any other safety equipment. They're not lifetime tools. If you're doing electrical work regularly, your most used insulated tools probably need to be replaced every couple of years, maybe sooner, depending on how hard you use them and what conditions they're exposed to. Before you start any electrical work, take 30 seconds to inspect every insulated tool you're about to use. Look for cracks, cuts, discoloration, or any damage. If you find anything questionable, don't use that tool on energized equipment. It's not worth the risk. And remember, the tool that's been your favorite for 5 years might be the one that's the most degraded precisely because you've used it so much. Your insulated tools are supposed to be your last line of defense when you're working on energized circuits. But they only work if the insulation is actually intact. Don't trust tools just because they've never failed you before. Inspect them, replace them when needed, and never assume that just because a tool looks fine, it's still protecting you. Please stay safe on the job.
Did you know that in 2020, a study conducted by the Associated Builders and Contractors found that daily safety toolbox talks lead to a remarkable 82% reduction in total recordable incident rates compared to those conducted monthly? The study shows that the frequency of toolbox talks directly correlates with incident rates. Consistent safety toolbox talks lead to less accidents, which is why many companies this year are using Safely EO to create and schedule these talks weeks and months in advance, so your team will be consistently reminded of the job hazards and safety protocols. You get access to Safely EO's Toolbox Talk library that comes with hundreds of text-based and video-based toolbox talks that covers any industry. The Toolbox Talk app makes it easy for your employees and supervisors to consume safety talks from their own mobile devices and acknowledge its completion at the click of a button. All completed safety talks are tracked, and the data can be exported and available for use. The platform digitizes your safety talks process, so you can focus on what really matters, keeping your team safe and informed. Don't wait until it's too late. Workplace incidents can cost your company millions in liability, lost productivity, and damaged reputation. To learn more, just click the link in the description of this video to request a quick demo.